Hello, welcome back to another Contemplative Living, where we try to talk about contemplation and the way that it can influence our day-to-day lives. So we're still here in the Dominican, so you're probably going to hear people walking around the condo and a lot of outside noise, but that's real life. That's we have to live in a real life type of scenario. But Spirit once said to me, building a life on a foundation of ego is like trying to build a tower on quicksand. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a stable foundation. And that's what Spirit was talking about, is we need a foundation. Now, ego plays a big role in our lives. But we need to keep it in balance, and we need to put more stable bricks in our foundation. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get to it.
Welcome. Now creating a life of peace. This is Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Contemplations and reflections to help with spiritual living. This podcast is made possible by dharmatalks.com.
All right. So, did you like that new intro? I mean, the intro music is new. So is the outtake music. So I hope you enjoy that. Well, so we're talking about a stable foundation. So let's get right into it and talk about how we create a stable foundation of inner strength and kindness for ourselves. Building a stable foundation of inner strength and inner kindness is essential for navigating the challenges that we face, and to face it with grace and resilience. That's what's necessary. And it begins by acknowledging our worth, embracing our self-worth and our compassion, and trying to cultivate a practice of positive affirmations. This is one of the ways that we can do it. Affirmations, mindfulness, and self-care to nurture our body, mind, and spirit. We need to focus on self sometimes before we can truly be stable, and helpful in everything that we do. So we embrace our vulnerability as a source of growth rather than weakness. Allowing ourselves to feel deeply without judgment, and surrounding ourselves with supporting friends, family, those people that uplift us instead of pull us down. And practice forgiveness towards those that do try to pull us down, or others that just, are always around, that just don't feed our intentions. And so then we release any resentment that, may weigh or pull us down or be heavy on our hearts. So remember that true strength comes from within. It's not about suppressing emotion or putting up walls, but rather facing adversity, facing it with courage and compassion. By tending to your inner world with love and understanding, you create that solid foundation. And that's where we can build a fulfilling future rooted in authenticity and empathy. So, be willing to be wrong. Be willing to be wrong. You can ultimately get it right. Sometimes ultimately we're human. We're going to get it wrong. Okay, we might as well just face the fact. We're going to get it wrong from time to time. But the secret is, those times that we're wrong, we usually learn something. And we grow from that. And that's how we ultimately get it right, is by growing and learning by our mistakes. And every time that we learn something from one of our mistakes, it puts another stable brick in that foundation that is us, that is our true nature. So trust that we have what it takes to know ourselves thoroughly and completely. You know, a lot of times it feels like we're walking through life in a dream state almost. We're really just not connected to ourselves. And that's because a lot of times we get pulled away from our circumstances and we rely on outside sources to, to feed us, or to, instead of finding that all the nutrition that we need is within us, and that we just need to bring that forth and trust that that's available. It's always available to us. But many times we tend to just fall off that level of awareness, and so we wander. But we need to put our feet on the path, know that there's something stable underneath us, willing to help us. So be entirely truthful about where we are and aware of where we'd like to be. Being entirely truthful about where we are means our current circumstances, facing them head on without sugarcoating or denying where we are. And it requires a deep introspection, going inward, an honest reflection on the present moment. Only when we acknowledge the reality of our situation can we begin to make meaningful change and progress towards where we'd like to be. And at the same time, it's important to be aware of where we'd like to be in order to get and set goals and create vision for our future. This involves envisioning our ideal state. Whether it's achieving personal growth, professional success, maybe fulfilling relationships, and taking steps towards making that vision our reality. By being both truthful about our current status and mindful of our desired destinations, we can lay down a stable foundation. That's a foundation for growth. For growth and transformation, actually. And it's the awareness that propels us forward on the path toward becoming, the best versions of ourselves. The foundation of peace we're looking for does not crumble as soon as there is difficulty. See, that's the outside influences that feels like it's crumbling. Our inner foundation, our inner strength, our true nature, who we really are, our divine nature, is stable. And it's there. It's available for our support when things get tough. And that inner connection is peaceful. And it helps us to see clearly. It helps us to raise our awareness above whatever's going on around us, so that we can, through a peaceful demeanor, move forward with empowerment and strength, because we have built a foundation. So with a stable foundation, we have the strength and good-heartedness to live in this world with dignity and kindness. Picture a house on a strong, stable foundation. It stands tall, it's unwavering, and it has the ability to weather any storm that comes its way. Just like this house, when we have a stable foundation that's within ourselves, we can stand firm in the face of challenge. With solid foundation of self-awareness, self-love, we can navigate through the ups and downs we can navigate with grace, with strength. That inner stability gives us resilience. It gives us, resilience to overcome and the courage to pursue our dreams. And that's what's important, is to recognize where we want to go and start moving in that direction. So as our kindness for ourselves grows, so does our kindness for other people. As we learn to be kinder to ourselves, a beautiful transformation begins to take place within us. When we treat ourselves with compassion and understanding, our hearts soften. They soften towards others as well. And we start to see the beauty in everyone and everything around us and feel more inclined to offer help and offer a hand or a listening ear. Kindness is like a ripple effect. It starts within and radiates outward, touching the lives of those that we come into contact with. By nurturing our own self-love and acceptance, we create space for empathy and generosity towards others. Knowing that our foundation of kindness has the power to spread far beyond our own being, lets us be gentle with ourselves, lets us be gentle with the world. Because we know we are here. We are present. And we can extend that gentleness outwardly, and that helps create a world filled with warmth and compassion, especially within our circle, and that radiates outward. That's what we really, really are trying to do, is we're trying to establish that foundation within ourselves so that when we're interacting in the world, we're interacting with that peaceful center, with that compassion, that empathy, with that warm-heartedness that the world needs more of. I hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.
Thank you for listening today to Contemplative Living with David Bennett. Please be sure to subscribe, listen, and share with your friends wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the Podbean app. You can find the links to these on David's website, dharmatalks.com, on the Contemplative Living page. Have a blessed week.